Alright, Booger Beans, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Adventures with Boog. On this episode, we are doing our propane install. So, first things first, sorry about last episode. That time lapse was absolute awful. My computer rendered it and it looked fine, and then I uploaded it and it really sped up. So I don't know what happened there. My computer is getting old and slow, so that's probably what happened. But today, we're going to be building a frame for our propane tanks. We're going to be installing all of our copper lines. We've got the diverter valve and everything ready to go. We've got the compression fittings on in the stove, the water heater out there, and they're ready to be hooked up. So yeah, first things first, let's get to building the frame so we know where these propane tanks are going to go underneath the bus. So let's get to it. So if you guys watched our previous episode, where we did the gray water tank install, we used this 2x2 by 1/8 angle to build the frame, and we're going to do the same thing for the propane tanks. This is way overkill. Like, you could probably use 1 inch by 1 inch by 16 to hold the 40-pound propane tank, but it's a scrap we have laying around, so it basically costs us nothing to do it with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a kind of a box on the bottom. We're going to have uprights that go up into the frame of the bus. We'll bolt through that frame, and then the propane tanks will just kind of hang on that. So I've got all the steel cut already, and now it's time to get out the welder and go to town on this metal and get something built up here. So let's get to it. Frame all the way around the propane tanks. So now we've got to mount the diverter valve, which is this guy right here, and I'm gonna put some strapping on the backside, and we'll screw this guy right in here, and then we got the pigtails that come off here, and they'll basically just wrap around and go onto the tanks, and then we'll build a bar that goes from here across over to here, with a screw on the top, and you turn that down to lock the propane tanks in place so they don't move around or wiggle around on us. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's looking pretty good and working pretty good so far. So let's get the diverter valve in, and then we'll work on that, the hold down, tank hold down, I guess is what you'd call it. Propane tank setup is all built. We put a half-inch piece of ready rod down the middle of the two tanks with this big half-inch wing nut that I built, and yeah, you just kind of crank it on there, and those tanks are really tight. Yeah, they wobble around a little bit. That's also because the frame isn't fully solid right now, but they're really solid. They're not banging into each other, they're not banging into anything, so that's really what we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off the wing nut here. I'm going to take the tanks out just to make the frame as light as we can, and then I'm going to go and figure out how to put this underneath the bus. It's not too cold out today, it's only -5, but we only have about a half hour of sunlight until we'll be working in the dark underneath the bus, which is not fun to do, but it is Alberta, and unfortunately the sun goes down at 5 o'clock nowadays, so don't get much time after work. But let's head out there and So the hope was to get all of the propane fitting and all that kind of stuff set up on the bus for this episode. But I don't think that is going to happen because I was hoping I could use the tube bender that I owned for this tubing. But the tubing bender I own is 3/8 and the tubing is 1/2 inch. So if you can see there, it just kinks. Just block that up. It just kinks the tubing all to crap and does not work worth a darn. So we're going to have to get a 1/2 inch OD tubing bender in order to bend that tubing and put it in place. So that really puts kind of a wrench in my plans tonight. The hope was to get that all done and basically wrapped up. So I might see if I can do portions of it just kind of by hand. There is a couple spots where I do need a tight 90-degree radius. So I'll need a tubing bender there for sure. So if I'm going to have to buy it, I might as well just go buy it and then do it all with the tubing bender. So I guess that's really going to slow down my plans tonight. But in the meantime, before supper here, I am going to go and cut the hole in the side of the bus for the propane tanks. We've got about 20 minutes of sunlight left again after work. It's basically dark as soon as work's over. So I'm going to go out there with the grinder and go to town and see if we can get that hole cut. So let's head out there and let's get that. So the box is all in here. The top portion is definitely not pretty, but it's in there. Come summertime, what we'll probably do is end up bondoing across there with some fiberglass filler and sanding it all down, smoothing it out. We're gonna have to kind of retouch this whole portion of, or this lower portion of the bus, unfortunately. But you know, that's what happens when you don't get stuff done before summer comes. So, you know, try and make sure you plan on what needs to get done first on your bus and what's really important to you. So this is where we're at. Let's see if we can get these tanks in here. So I haven't put these in here yet inside the bus, so I'm hoping it fits well. And if not, you guys are going to find out the same time I do. Great. How doesn't that fit? Well, doesn't fit. These frame supports on the bus come down a little further than I thought. So what we might have to do is drop it down another 1/2 inch or so on the rails that are on the side there. I was sure it was below the top of this lip when I put it in there. Well, I'm gonna try and just pop out this diamond plate that's on the bottom, and then we'll give it another go and see if she goes in there. So just give me a second. I got that piece of diamond plate out of the bottom here, so now let's see again. Haven't tested it, so hopefully it fits. I don't know. It should fit. Like, I don't know why it's not fitting, really. The measurements are fine. Nope. Still no luck. So it fits on that side, no problems. Goes in really nice, actually. So it's just on this side, for some reason, it doesn't quite fit. I don't know why. don't know if that had anything to do with a different tank. It should be the exact same height, so I don't know what that was about, but now they go in there nicely. Then the hold on goes in there. That. And then the wing nut goes on top. Maybe. Little fiddly. Like that. Hang him up. Like that, and then these guys can go on there. Go. Just like that. Well, that's really not too bad. The bottom is a bit more flimsy now. This flexes a whole bunch more. So I'm not too happy about that. So what we might end up doing is putting in some ribs that we can lay across the bottom and then weld in there to stiffen up that bottom piece so it doesn't flex so much, because that's why that's rolling against and hitting the back of the frame. I don't really like that much. It's not a big deal because it's not going to do too much, but the only thing is it's just noisy when you're driving down the road, right? That's going to be clanging about, and you don't want that to be making a ruckus. We also could put some foam or maybe some rubber or something like that in the sides to help cushion that, just to make it so it's not so noisy or loud. But you can easily access the valve on the back here with no issues, and yeah, then we'll be able to put the door on the front, and you can access the top of these guys. This one's a little tight, but you can still access it pretty easy on the side. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with it. I don't like the way the top of this looks, but you know, only so much you can do. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for this episode. I'm not going to get the any of the piping done just because I simply don't have the stuff to finish it up. But on the next episode, we'll be doing the all the hard lines, and then we'll have propane running in the bus. So we'll have a stove working and the water heater working. So that'll be cool to see. So make sure you check in for that one. If you guys haven't already, go down, hit that like button, smash the subscribe button. I think we're almost at 600 subscribers. So help us get us there would be really great. Also, check out our Instagram and Facebook page. We are doing Cocktail Fridays live on AWB's Instagram. The link in the description below. And those will be Friday nights at 7 Mountain Standard Time. And we're just going to mix up a cocktail. This week it's cranberry bourbon holiday kind of cocktail. We're going to mix that up, and then we'll just be there to, you know, answer questions and chat with all you guys who want to come and hang out with us for 15-20 minutes. So yeah, we hope to see you there. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and have a great night.